Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Alpha Strong Network. And today we are having our Faith Tech Finance show. I want to thank you for joining us on our Faith Tech Finance, where we bring you all the latest news and anything related to faith, finance, and technology. Today, I did want to take some time to kind of talk about what happened last week. Unprecedented, the Supreme Court ruling that Roe v. Wade is unconstitutional and basically taking the fight back to the states. So, man, where do we start with this? There's a lot of people that are really, really, really upset right now. I mean, just so upset. It is just an irrational, hatred, and just it's so unfortunate to see people get so angry and so upset because of some perceived slight and, supposedly being kept from the right to murder an unborn human being. I mean, and these people are livid. They are so angry. And I saw online some people, believers, who, look, I get it. They're trying to stand up for the unborn and everything. I totally understand. But they're trying to have a logical conversation with illogical people, with irrational people. You cannot have a meaningful conversation with someone who cannot think rationally. If someone cannot have just a normal discussion about something and help rationally think through common sense about what they're thinking through or what the topic is or whatever. I mean, so the fact that they're sitting here saying that they demand the right to murder a child in the womb, it just doesn't make sense. So why argue? Why fight? Now, everyone needs to make that choice for themselves. If you feel God's calling you to fight and stick up for the unborn babies, and you want to argue with these people and try to make your point and try to somehow convince them to change their mind about this topic, if you think that is fruitful and it's going to reap the desired results, hey, more power to you. Go for it. Okay? Especially if you feel the Lord's calling you to do that. I don't feel called to do that. If someone's like, how do you mean they don't give us a right? We demand a right. You know what I'm going to say? Great. Yeah, you're right. You deserve the right. Whatever. I'm not going to argue. I'm just not going to argue with them because they don't make any sense. So save yourself the energy and the time and the frustration. Don't even worry about it. Now, I really think we should just be praying. Okay. Now, first and foremost, I want to say that I am absolutely ecstatic about this. Okay. Just to make sure very, very, very clear about where I stand. I am all for this. I don't think that we should be just allowing people just to murder children, period, any way, shape, or form. I am all for human rights. I'm all for women's rights. I'm all for men's rights. I'm all for the rights of everyone. Okay, let's just be clear on that. But what I'm not for is, in your pursuit of having the right to do whatever you want to do, that it causes damage to someone else. And you, mother, with that child in your womb, which it is a child, okay, if you decide to murder that child, okay, you are hurting another human being. Though it may not be fully developed, it is a human being. Okay, procreation, all that stuff. The moment it's alive, the moment conception happens, it is alive. The cells start to multiply, right? It starts to grow. It is a living organism. So say whatever you want. It is a human organism made from human DNA inside of another human, which is how humans are born. So the fact that you can try to sit there and say it's not a human life is asinine. It's just stupid. It makes no sense. You guys are all about science. Okay, well, there's science right there, and you're trying to ignore it. Only science when it makes sense to you, right? Because it's all about, mask up. Everyone needs to mask up. The government should mandate everyone to be masked up and to be vaccinated. Demand the government to do this to everyone. How dare you not be vaccinated? But yet, you get upset when someone says you don't have the right to do whatever you want with your body. So when I say I don't want to get vaccinated, I don't want to wear a mask, it's my body, and you get upset, you see, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. So I'm all for this. I think this is amazing. We need to use more common sense like this. You want to have unprotected sex and you want to, take the risk of getting pregnant, then accept the consequences, because that's what adults do. They accept the consequences of their actions. If you decide to have unprotected sex and take the risk, then deal with the consequences. And when I say deal with it, I don't mean kill it. I mean, have the child, do what you need to do, put it up for adoption or whatever you need to do. Raise the child, hopefully. Be a good parent. Do the right thing. Be responsible. You made the choices. Accept the consequences. Accept the responsibilities. That's called being an adult. And that's how our society gets better, by taking responsibility. So that's where I stand on this whole subject. I did want to touch on a couple of things. Now that the fight is going to the States, I think that we need to, just be mindful for us that live in certain states that are much more liberal and just totally left-leaning, like California, right? We're going to be in for a battle, and they're going to just go over the top with trying to make it blatantly overt that they're this sanctuary state for abortions and blah, 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 blah. So I believe he's announced a pact between California, Washington, and Oregon, and they're looking to become an abortion haven. Gavin Newsom did say something along the lines of that we need to fight like hell. And the words that he used were just so telling as to where their hearts are, about where their souls are. When you sit there and say you have to fight like hell to give you the right to murder unborn human beings. That sounds about right. Seems like you're fighting for hell. That's really what it is. My pastor said that this weekend. I was like, yeah. I was running camera, and he says that. And I'm just like, did he just, whoa, he just did that. He just dropped the mic like that. Bam. And obviously I'm on the camera, so I can't nothing like that. I just try to keep my cool. But I was inside. I was totally stoked about that. But, yeah, no. So he said something like that. It was something stupid. I'm going to try. I was trying to find, I think I remember if I read it on like the New York Times or LA Times or something like that. But, it was just sad. It was just sad that these people just don't seem to understand, like really from a spiritual perspective, kind of where this is coming from. I think if you're a believer and you don't understand, like this is a spiritual battle more than anything. This is a spiritual battle, and it's gonna get worse usually before it gets better. We didn't see an end in sight for, Roe v. Wade and everything else. Obviously, once we started getting some Supreme Court justices, conservative justices in there, we knew that it might be a possibility. And, we just kept praying and we just kept praying. And, even though it may seem hopeless on the outside, even though everything around you says that this is impossible, with God, all things are possible. And we need to have that faith. So we are gearing up for a crazy fight with, or within the state of California and Oregon and Washington. If you're a believer, I want to ask you to stand with us in prayer and just believe without doubting that God can still pull out a miracle today. So let's pray. Let's believe that we can see this happen, that we can see California, especially in California, that we can pass laws that say that abortion is illegal here in California. the moment of conception, or at the very least, if you detect a heart rate, you cannot abort that baby or something. I think it's possible. I know it's possible because I know the God that I serve. And the God of the universe, the God of Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob, okay, the same God who raised Christ from the dead is the same God that is living inside of you, is living inside of me, and is the same God today, yesterday, and forever. And so he can solve this problem. He can move in the hearts of people and move in the hearts of leaders, or work it out in some way, shape, or form to do this miracle. And so I'm asking you guys to pray. Let's pray. And just believe that God's going to do it. That God can, outlaw the horrific practice of murdering unborn babies. And look, I'm not getting into the whole discussion about, when is abortion the right, is it ever okay, or in, different things, incest, rape, all that kind of stuff. Okay. I think those are things that, should be done on a case by case basis. I don't think you could just arbitrarily just across the board sit there and say that it would never be possible if it means the life of the mother or the child. The wife is alive. The mom is alive. Why wouldn't you? Now, if they choose to say, you know what, we're just going to leave it up to God, and that's their choice. But, at least give you the choice to save for sure the mom's life or something like that. Like, I totally understand. I'm reasonable. Okay. I don't feel like it's a compromise. I feel like it's common sense. If the mom is about to die and you need to do what you need to do to save her, then that's what you need to do, right? So I'm not going to sit here and fight and argue with those types of things. I think, that's up to the individual person and the doctor at that point to figure out what's best. But just to murder a child just because you don't want it, I don't think that's what God wants for us. That's not God's heart. I don't read that anywhere in the Bible. So to me, that's where we just have to draw the line. If it's just because you don't want it, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sure that there's a good home for that child somewhere. So anyways, let's move on. But I think that's something that, we're going to have to look at, making sure we're continuing to be, aware of what's going on, aware of what these laws that they're passing, these havens and these sanctuary states. We should be aware of companies that have come out very openly and publicly and said that they're willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to fly a woman to another state, including sending someone along with them and everything, so they can go murder their child in some other state. I'm calling you guys out. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. I mean, these big companies, right? Huge companies. All coming out and saying that they are going to fund the murder of human beings. And people are applauding them. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Our country needs Jesus more than ever. If that is what draws cheers, and if paying for murdering babies draws cheers, and saying you can't murder babies draws criticism and anger and fighting and everything else, I mean, where are we as a nation? Like, I think we really need to do some soul searching here. Alpha Strong, the organization that I started, the Alpha Strong Life organization, we're a Christian leadership and discipleship organization focused on empowering the next generation of Christian leaders to impact and influence this world for Jesus Christ, to help make him known, to help make him famous. And as we say, we're empowering leaders to impact and influence this world. If you are a believer, you are a leader. We are called to lead by serving. We're supposed to serve others, right? We're supposed to serve each other. And we want to teach this stuff. We want to teach the fact that we need to be standing up for these things. And we need to be teaching people how to take the fight to wherever the fight needs to go. The gospel message. Intentional Christian living. A godly way, a holy way of living. Something that always is keeping, Christ and heaven and eternity in focus. Always right there at the forefront of everything that we do. And this topic is just one of those things that we have to. We cannot sit idly by and just let it happen. We cannot do that. We cannot be complacent. This is something that I think just tugs at the heart of God. That we would be willing to live a life where we have no value for the sanctity of life. I'm not talking about just the unborn. I'm talking about like life in general. I mean, we see it in our society. Kids shooting each other, people just shooting each other, killing each other, doing ungodly, evil things, human trafficking, the drug trade, all this stuff. I think a lot of it stems from this fundamental lack of understanding that we need to value life, all life on this planet, but especially human life. Because we are created in the image of God. We are made to be like him, created to be just like him. And so when you're murdering that creation, God's creation, that's made in his image, what are you saying? We're saying that basically, God, we don't care what you made. We don't care what you've done. We don't care that you've given us life. We're going to do whatever we want. And we're going to do whatever makes us happy. And I don't care who I hurt or what I do. It's my body. I should be able to do whatever I want. It's my life. I should be able to do whatever I want, say whatever I want, be whatever I want. And it goes against the very core of who God is and what he set us as humanity to do. What did he tell us when he put us in the garden? He said, go forth and multiply, right? Be fruitful and multiply. So the way that we are fruitful and we multiply is by procreation, right? We procreate, we replicate ourselves, we reproduce, we create life, other life just like us. And look at some of the biggest, I would say, some of the biggest battles that we have going on in our culture right now, especially as it relates to conservative Judeo-Christian values and the completely, humanistic, do whatever I want, culture that we see, right? Whether it's abortion and killing of other human babies, okay, and preventing human life from being born, or it's the proliferation of the homosexual agenda and the LGBTQ and all that nonsense. Think about what it is. At the core, it's an unnatural thing. It's a union, right? Usually between two people of the same sex that cannot procreate. They cannot make life. It goes fundamentally against what God set us out to do, the very purpose of humanity, which is to make more life and to produce life and grow. So, do you think that that's a coincidence? Think about it. The depression and anger and suicide and all that stuff, all same thing, trying to prevent life, trying to drive you to the point of hopelessness that the only option you feel is just taking your life. So it's a spiritual battle, guys. You guys need to know that. This is all a spiritual battle. So understand that that's what it is, and your job is just to, be aware of it and leave it up to God and just pray and trust and hope that he's going to do it and take action where he tells you to do things. If he tells you to go and, maybe join the school board or join the local, city, commission or something, start getting involved, or, go lobby in Washington or in Sacramento or wherever it is. But maybe that's where God has you. Or maybe it's just in the place where you work. Maybe it's that one conversation you have with a friend that's struggling. Or your best girlfriend that tells you she's pregnant, she's contemplating. Maybe it's in that moment where you can share the truth, share some light, and make a difference, one life at a time. Because that's really what it comes down to. It starts in your heart, and then it kind of just goes from there. And we impact the lives around us. So who are you impacting today? And I hope that as you're coming across stories like this, people that are, very angry about this decision, to overturn Roe v. Wade and the way that they're attacking this and trying to make it seem like we're we're attacking their rights and whatever else. Don't fall for it. Don't engage with that. Like, it's not worth it. You cannot have a rational conversation with an irrational person. They're never going to see your point of view. Now, if you feel like there is someone that maybe there's an opening there because they're not fully committed to their irrational thinking. Okay, yeah, if you see a door opening there, have that conversation. Absolutely. Maybe that's the Holy Spirit leading you to do that. But those extremists out there, like, it's not worth it. Don't be out there fighting with them. That doesn't show the love of Christ to a fallen world. And that's really what it's about, is how are we loving these people? Regardless of what they feel or think or whatever, or how they attack us, how are we loving them? So if you believe differently than me, if you believe that you should have the right to murder an unborn human being, I respect your opinion. I respect you as a person. You can have that opinion. I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. But guess what? Just because I disagree with your opinion doesn't mean I don't like you or I hate you or anything like that. It just means that we can disagree, that I have a different point of view. That when I say I value life, I value all life, including unborn life, including living people, including women and men and children and animals and plants and trees and this planet, okay? All life. We should be good stewards of creation. That is what it's all about. God said to keep and tend the garden. Like those words mean to take care of it, to guard it, protect it, and keep it safe and keep it growing. That is our mission. That is our purpose as human beings. To tend and take care of life on this planet, including human life and plant life and animal life and everything else. So we should be fighting against, bad, industrial practices, pollution, all that kind of stuff. We should be helping. As believers, we should be custodians of this planet until Jesus comes back. We should be making this place better every day. So if we have the technology and the know-how to make this place better and stop what we're doing, we should do it because it's the right thing to do. I don't care how expensive it is or how much it hurts or how much work it is, how long it's going to take. It's the right thing to do, and that's what we should do. So with that, may God richly bless you. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Our Alpha Strong Network is brought to you today by DBG Global. If you are in digital marketing, you want a way to move your products, your business, your courses, whatever it is that you have, DBG.global is your number one place, your one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. And we have an amazing affiliate referral bonus program. So if anyone, decides to buy from, your pages or your contacts and stuff, your marketing funnels and things like that, you get a very nice, healthy referral bonus commission. So a lot of good stuff. Check out the description check out the link in the description below and go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't done so. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get notified whenever we put on new content. We're going to continue to bring great stuff here on the Alpha Strong Network and the individual shows, AK Crypto, Fire Life Financial Solutions, and a few other channels that we're going to be starting up here in the near future. But for right now, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Angel Bundes. I am the financial physician. Take care, everyone. Peace out.